Consumer culture. Some of the plot turns start to feel a bit forced. This Chabre core executive who embezzles
Yeah, I'm thinking these will be more, this would have to bend them back the other way. So if they'll come out like that instead of curving in like they do naturally when you hammer on them.
Fantasy camp for amateurs who really want to live the dream. How do you deal with the different ability levels, right, of these random people coming up? So it wasn't a free-for-all. You had to have a particular concert together. The New Jersey Symphony made a couple of stipulations. You had to tell them that you were coming and what instrument to play. And they made one very polite request that please try to practice the music before you actually show up. With this incredible mix of about 75 players, everyone from real professionals from the New Jersey Symphony and the Los Angeles Philharmonic, as well as a bunch of musicians.
Where's that going to go?
And a whole lot of amateurs.
Oh, it's going to be
high school kids to older.
Going to be some hair in his ear. It's going to be. I mean. Yeah, so it's going to go, this will be copper eventually, but this will be right in here. It'll be shaped so it'll be welded right onto that, back underneath a little bit. Yeah. There'll be some hair in his ear. And this all has to be, before I get done with this, I'm going to have to go around it, bend all of this, make an edge on it so it looks three-dimensional from one side.
Can be a little bit of transactional experiences. You know, you pay your money, you expect to show up and be entertained, and then you leave. And I think for performers too, yes, they're there to be creative, but they're also
And
there to perform a job.
I just reheated this piece. I annealed it so that it's softer.
And who are the consumers. But what was really
Sometimes I have to do that 2 or 3 times.
kids are there to enjoy music together.
So do you think the New Jersey Symphony is
Anyway.
going to repeat this experiment?
Well, I definitely hope so for myself, because I clearly have some more practicing to do. Anastasia, thanks so much for talking with us. Always such a pleasure. Adi, thanks.
And I have some other
Anastasia Tsirkus and other
types of pliers to help with this.
Symphony Orchestra. This is NPR.
And this is Northwest Public Radio. Coming up on All Things Considered, how far does your First Amendment right go while protesting? In 2004, a group of protesters were forced out of earshot of then-President Bush. They claimed they were discriminated against by the Secret Service.
We had permission from our local police chief and our local sheriff, and we were adhering to the guidelines that brought us the permit to be there in the first place.
Today, the Supreme Court heard arguments of whether the Secret Service could be sued for such actions. NPR's Nina Totenberg will have that story for you at 4:40. Your favorite programs on Northwest Public Radio are made possible by Chabre Regional Medical Center. Every city's community for 70 years. For generations, Caltech has transformed patient experiences with thousands of
MP has asked the agency's director for more information. The Secret Service imposed stricter rules after an incident 2 years ago when a dozen agents and officers assigned to the presidential trip to London were taken while prostitutes went to their hotel. Chairman of the House Oversight Committee Subcommittee on National Security, Jason Chabre, says he's afraid that not enough changes were made after Cartagena. He's concerned about possible ongoing deep-seated problems within the Secret Service. Craig Irvin, NPR News, Washington.
I'm Tom Cocaine. Known as the Hazel Slide along the North Fork Stillaguamish River, 60 miles northeast of Seattle. State and tribal officials have been trying to fence all sides of that.
Salmon habitat that had blocked the proposed timber sale above the Hazel Slide.
This had been known at least since it was one of the more problematic areas on the
That's why the state has restricted logging above landslide-prone slopes for the past 15 years.
And the big landslide, when we're talking about, happened 4 times. There was cutting in the 1940s, failed in the 50s. There was cutting in 1960, and then it failed in the mid-60s.
Is that going to go on top?
What?
That's going to go on top?
Yeah, that's his wolf mask. Yeah, it'll be right up in the center, pretty much,
Oh, I see.
of that one.
It's going to go up here somewhere. Right up there?
Yeah, kind of in that hollow. Yeah, they've all got their own masks, Indian masks. Because the museum has one of the best collections of Northwest Indian masks anywhere. So that's what they...
Are these their design or your design?
Oh, they're my design. Yeah. They originally wanted just They wanted just masks,
Exit carrying
but I didn't want to do that.
details.
Masks.
Yeah, just the mask. I thought, no, that's not.
NPR comes from Arizona State University.
There's no creativity involved there. Even this is.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot of pounding in all this material. My God, you must be pounding here for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah, they take hours and hours and hours just getting what you want. And then on a lot of these, like in the backs of these, then I have to hammer matching pieces and weld them on, clean them up for the anything that's sticking out into the weather.
Oh, so they have a back to them
They
too.
have a back to them. This one's not going to have a back because it's up there and it's just in his ear anyway. So when I turn the edges, so you won't be able to. They'll look solid from down below after I grind them.
Is it copper or is it brass?
No, this is copper.
Copper.
Yeah,
So they're going to turn green. It's going to turn green.
yeah. I'll put. I gotta put verdigris patina on them. And just on these, it'll just be a cold patina. I'll just use sulfated potash because that's the way the other ones are done, and then they just turn green over the years. The other ones have been there, boy, 25 years, I think. Something.
Yeah.
And they still look good.
25 years ago you did them?
Yeah.
You have a picture of them here?
Huh?
You have a picture of them here?
Yeah, they're.
In the house somewhere? Or?
So they expanded the courtyard, and they have a new director, and he's expanded the museum about 2 or 3 times. And so then they decided they needed a couple more to face out, outside the courtyard. The other ones all face in the courtyard. So at first I was going to just cast them. But then I thought they would match better if they were actually hammered copper like the other ones. Plus
The university and the NCAA both argued in the hearing process that student athletes are not employees because scholarships are not wages. Scholarships can only be used for educational purposes. And Northwestern football coach testified that even though the player says football fee first, he tells his players at school.
And for NLRB?
It does go to full NLRB. There's a time frame that I'm not clear on. I think there's 30 days before that the appeal.
What is this? What does the headdress mean?
oh, that's it?
The headdress, yeah.
Oh, that's just the I think it's the Coos tribe. It's their
Okay, thank you, David.
wolf mask.
Wolf masks.
Yeah. And that's the eagle.
Oh, I see. That's a wolf mask.
Were returned home Sunday and put on administrative leave
And then
for
what-
disciplinary reasons.
What we do,
Reported today that the
like when we
agents-
installed the first ones, they came and did a purification ceremony
One was found
with sweetgrass and so I don't really know much about, the what's behind these masks.
You mean the gargoyles?
Yeah, I mean, because when we put the first ones up, we were just going to put them up, and they were, you know, they had the television crew there and stuff, and then there's some tribal members came up from out of the audience and said, you know, we should really purify these before they go up.
Wow.
So he said, I live close by. We can go home and get some sweetgrass, and we can perform the ceremony. And they all go, oh no, we got to get this done. And I said, that'd be kind of cool. So he went home and they did it, and they filmed it all, and now they want to do it again. You know.
They're prepared this time.
It actually made it into a real ceremony instead of just putting them up there with a crane.
Nice.
Today in the Supreme Court,
How close is it to being finished, this piece?
Oh, I don't know. I just, I mean, it's not too far away, but when I get it pretty close, get some of these bumps worked out of it, then I take the grinder and I just grind it.
Yeah.
So it gets that kind of grinding look to it.
Kind of.
And it takes like the little lumps down. Of course, I have to get it.
namely taking some sworn testimony from agents. Do they answer or deny?
And then, you know, I do the edges. You just keep looking at it until I think it's okay. I mean, even when I'm doing that, there's like grinding little pieces of copper flying all over the place. So that's not very cool either to film.
Charming.
You can't get away from it.
Yeah.
So, no, it's just I like the process because it's really slow and deliberate.
Yeah. And beautiful. You're really making something.
Yeah, well, I think these might be the last ones I ever do. I mean, as far as
25 years from now, you might get another commission.
I know. The first ones I did for them, well, it was like, oh boy, I got a commission, you know. They were like $1,500 a piece.
Yeah.
And some of them are, one of them's almost this big, and the salmon's 8 feet long and 5 feet high and everything. They were like $1,500 a piece.
25 years ago.
25 years ago.
Oh, just tell me where these are gonna go, just for the record.
Huh?
Can you tell me where they're gonna go for the record?
Oh, they're going to go on the Museum of Cultural and Natural History at the University of Oregon. Yeah. In Eugene.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, and what do they? Is there a name for them? Do they call them anything?
They just call them gargoyles. I mean, they're all animals that are important to the tribe there, where these masks come from. So there's the salmon, the raven, the bear, the wolf, and the eagle.
Nice.
And maybe, I don't know, they might add some other ones later if they expand again. I don't know.
Nice.
But I've kind of gotten, you know how it is. I got back into this technique, so I've done for this show I did in Coeur d'Alene in January. I did some hammered copper pieces for that too.
I was going to say, you probably are, yeah, you're going to have some offshoot of creativity here.
Yeah. Well, it always happens that way when I get in any a particular media. Then you think of other things you can do.
Do you have any of those here? Or are they in Coeur d'Alene now?
No, well, I just sold one of them, so
Nice.
and I don't have a mold of it, so it's gone.
Have-
I didn't get a mold of it. It's just one of a kind thing, so it's gone.
God. But you could get it back for a molding, couldn't you?
Yeah, Chad Mitchell bought it actually.
Yeah.
You know
No, I don't know.
Chad Mitchell Trio?
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean he had a note written on the receipt, you know, when the check came. He said, "Oh, I sold this to Chad Mitchell. He used to sing with the Chad Mitchell Trio." Like maybe we wouldn't know who he was or something.
So you must have pictures of them.
Oh,
Great-
yeah.
It'd be great to see some pictures of that show.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
and
Well,
when I first started, I used this technique because I couldn't afford to cast.
what do you
So-
call this technique?
I call it hammered copper, but other people call it repoussé. You know, and some of it, when I do finer things, like that's made out of hammered copper too.
That-
So
way up
that's a
there?
little finer hammering. Oh, there's one that I did for the show, and it's all in pieces. I have to put it back together. I had to cut it apart to mold it. So I did it in copper, and then cut it apart and molded it, and then put it back together in bronze. So
Nice.
at least this way I get the originals.
Where did you mold it?
Trevor,
Huh.
T100 bronze, yeah. We've been together for a long, since he started.
From NPR News,
So-
this is All Things Considered. I'm Molly Cornish.
Anyway, and then,
Sunshine glinted off the white dome that crowns the
so this thing kind of, well anyway.
visible around much
So I'm just about,
and from far away.
you gotta finish up the ears, and then I put a stainless steel box inside that fits the beam.
Uh-huh.
And then we can just, and then I leave holes in the top where I can drop my ratchet extension and put some lag bolts in the beam to hold it on.
Yeah.
And I have to finish in the backside because I don't, well, it's enough that the birds get to nest in the ears and in the mouth and stuff, so there's always poop coming out.
Is
out
that
of
good
the
or
mouth.
bad? That's good, isn't it?
Well, I like it. You know, it makes them look ancient with the bird poop running all over them,
Yeah.
but the university cleans them every once in a while. They called and said, how do we clean this stuff? I said, well, mostly probably just pressurized soap and water, but not too much pressure because it's, you know, it is copper. Some of these places would dent. 32 ounce copper works pretty well for everything.
So when I come back, that head piece will be on top of here somewhere.
Yes, it should be. Yeah, it should be. By the time you get back, it should be. You know, I'll have the ears finished, with tufts and things, and the mask will be up on top. It'll probably be removable. Be a good way to hide one of the holes. Anyway, I think that's about all I have left to do. Well, and I still have to put his box in and inside and finish doing in the back. And then I have to sandblast them.
Mm-hmm.
I sandblast them to kind of take the sheen off a little bit, and then like I said, it's just a cold patina, so I just brush on the sulfated potash. Let it do what it does, what it'll do, because the other ones are just the same.
This
They're
is
kind
not,
of that.
it's not very heavy, is it?
No, not considering. It's going to be, I weighed it once already. I have a hydraulic lift scales, but it's not very accurate. It's 2,000 pounds, so anything, you know, you can get under 200 pounds, it's not real accurate. So I'm going to get a little digital one.
It's pretty heavy.
But this will probably weigh about 300 pounds
Oh,
the most. They're pretty, that's another reason why I made the gargoyles and the pieces that go up on the buildings out of copper because they're light. You put a lot of strain on the building, and they're up out of reach, so they can't be vandalized easily. And I've never had one vandalized. At street level, you'd never be able
Famous
to
last words.
Yeah. Well, Harold Blaze has got some copper pieces at street level in Spokane, but he used like 1/8-inch thick plate, copper plate,
Yeah.
and then it looks like bronze. And so I don't think people know the difference. If anybody ever dented them once, then they'd just be done. They would start being dinged.
Well, it's like having somebody around watching you.
I know. Every day when I come in, it's like, whoa. Hi
Yeah.
there.
My buddy.
Yeah. My buddy. So I'm trying to, I mean, if I was doing this, I've tried to foreshorten it as much as I can and still get the effect.
Yeah.
Because the wolf, God, I'd be back here because the head is really pretty big compared to the eyes and stuff. But this looks, I think people get the idea. Besides, it's a gargoyle.
Oh, they're beautiful. They really are. I can't wait to come back and see them when they get just before you install them.
Yeah, just before we go. They're going to have a little crane. They're going to have a construction company there to help me, so that's going to be easy.
Yeah.
Have a little crane to pick them up with, and then a scissors lift to get under and work on them. So.
Well, it'll be easy with the boxes as for the structure. The boxes will fit right into the structure.
Yeah,
right?
it just slides
Just
right
bolt
on.
them on or something.
It usually doesn't take long at all.
Yeah.
Except the first time the guy was, he was a construction company that built the building, and they were a little PO'd that the artists got to come in and get a lot of attention in the end. So when we were putting up the salmon, he intentionally lifted it a little too high because he was running the crane, and so it wouldn't go on. And I immediately think, oh God, it's the wrong size, So I've got this picture of me looking down at Gene, and I've got this very worried look on my face. And he let me think that for a few minutes, and then he lowered the crane, and it went thunk. And then after that, he was my buddy. I mean, he was like...
He was the architect or the...
No, he was he worked for the construction company that built the building.
Will he be there this month?
I don't know. He said that, in the end, after we put up the other ones, he helped put up the second two, and later when they're finished, and he just, if you never need any help, again, just give me a call, I'll be around.
Like, guys, you gotta invite him. Gotta invite him for sure.
Well, I think I went up and helped him put them up and everything, and I think after he figured out that I was just kind of a glorified worker, that it was fine. He knows what he's doing.
Cool.
So, anyway,
should be.
Should be fun. Rotate it so I can work on it, get underneath and grind, and And I was working on it, just it was hanging from that hook until it got too unwieldy, and then I had to flip it completely over to do the chin. So I was working, on top of it, and then rotated it. And all these pieces had to go on. Started down there and started putting them in on all the way up. So anyway.
Nice. They move quite easily.
Yeah. Gonna have to figure out.
What do you remember reading that just blew you away?
That's one thing I like about it, is figuring out how to do it. As you go. How am I gonna do this thing? I've done some gigantic things. This little tiny shop.
That's good.
I can talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only you don't want me looking at the camera, huh?
No, I'll just look at the camera. Yeah, I was trying to get the picture of the
thingy.
Can you move that glass of water? Picture of your friend the beast. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah.
So you're really happy to know that, aren't you? Aren't you glad?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's videoing.
Oh, am I?
I do.
All the
Well, I
time.
see the red
Better
light
turn
is
it. Better
on.
turn it